Is guacamole a fruit salad?
What is the best milkshake for bringing boys to the yard?
Ostriches are dinosaurs.
Don't piss off old people. New game,
What do you mean it gives you Arby's mouth?
artisanal muck duck balls.
I think they call that autofellatio.
I want to high five a shark.
Welcome to Bar Banter. Relax, have a drink with us as we debate the most controversial topics in the world today.
On
yesterday's
today's podcast,
Captain, my captain.
we talk about what is the best movie speech? What is the best thing to dip into chocolate? And lastly, which board game would make the best movie? But first, the man who has cried at every Google commercial, Richard Madison, what are you drinking?
It's true. I'm back on my Long Island kick. My mother is coming to my apartment on Friday, and I have to get rid of some liquor bottles. So, Long Island it is.
Proud of you.
Because you have a
What are
problem.
you drinking
right?
over there?
That is the right answer.
Yeah. I too have gone back to my go-to, just a little bit of tequila and ginger beer.
Hey,
Finally finished up those Topo Chicas, so this is what I had in my fridge. Benjamin, what are you drinking?
Little New Belgium, Voodoo Ranger, Juicy Haze IPA.
Ooh.
Pretty good. I haven't gone IPA in a while, so I'm digging it. Travis Jennings, what are you drinking?
I, believe it or not, am drinking a 14 Hands Pinot Grigio.
I don't
Yum.
believe
It's because I cooked with it and
Ooh,
I just was going to finish the rest of it. So I will be switching to, I forgot what the brand is, but the Juice Raptor Hazy IPA,
ooh.
new favorite beer. Can we all raise our glasses for the best band speech? I got it. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should have had like
Cheers.
an alcohol movie speech plugged in there somewhere.
That would make sense, Ben.
Do it in post.
Yeah,
Ben has clearly never heard your segues.
Yeah. The best segues.
It's because we all black out every time.
Guys,
Where's my car?
where's my car, dude? What is been watching some movies recently. What is the best movie? What is the best speech in a movie?
Okay, great. I'll go. So many choices, so many good movies out there. And for those few listeners out there that listen to this show regularly, I'm a big movie buff. So I had a lot, but I narrowed it down to one. And I narrowed it down because this movie is a movie that I think a lot of people recognize from a lot of different generations. And there might be some good football movie quotes out there, and that's great if you're a football fan. You know, there might be some great action movie quotes out there. It's great if you're an action movie fan. But if they're in the United States, everybody is an Independence Day fan. And when you're fighting fucking aliens, Bill Pullman is going to pull the entire world together with a speech on Independence Day, get everybody revved up, say, today is the 4th of July. We're fighting for our independence. Best movie speech of all time. Freaking just got the whole world together to go crush some fucking aliens in Independence Day. Best movie speech.
I like it, but here's why you're wrong.
I'm also a little upset that you only said the football quotes were good and then transitioned to great for the rest of them. So I want the record to reflect there's great football speeches out there.
There are. It's
I
true.
will allow that. I will allow that.
While the speech is good, I feel like may have been slightly unnecessary. There's
Especially
there's aliens attacking. People's lives are at stake. You probably could have just said, let's go fucking kill these guys, right? It was a little, I love the speech. Fantastic speech. Incredibly well delivered. Just seemed like a little much for the situation. If you're in that dire situation, I don't think you have to do that much to rally the troops. You could just look, aliens, we're about to die. Let's go do something about it.
But that's
So-
what a speech is supposed to do. It's supposed to rally, invigorate. I mean,
Yeah,
they
I
had
agree, but
They
it
kept
was-
getting their ass kicked. They needed to be invigorated.
but I just don't think they needed that much, right? I don't think the motivation. You didn't need to motivate that much.
From the
motivation
president
was
of the
there.
United States.
I'm calling.
Do it.
I'm calling bullshit on that argument, Travis.
I mean,
You've got the entire world is being invaded by aliens.
Sure.
You've been beat down. You finally have the ability to talk to the entire world in coordinated attacks across the globe.
As the leader of the free world.
It felt like just enough. In my opinion, I almost went with this one. As we have discussed in previous episodes, I love this speech. It is absolutely fantastic for rallying a group of people it wasn't just military personnel and people who are used to being in combat. They had brought together guerrilla groups and people who had almost zero training or were crazy alcoholics that hadn't flown in years in a fighter sense. It just still gives me chills to this day.
Absolutely. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah.
Next. Rich, you want to say something?
So hold on. So we said best speech. We didn't say most inspirational speech, right?
Thank you, Travis.
They're not the same.
No. No. We're not saying.
I'm not saying they're the same. I'm saying inspirational can be best.
Oh, I agree with that.
They
but I'm just saying
speeches in general are given to either unite, bring a bunch of people together, make a large point across to a group of people.
A large point across to a group of people. Yes, I agree with that.
How did that speech not do that?
No. I wasn't saying it didn't. I'm just saying we just said I was saying it can be the best, but you're limiting yourself by just doing inspirational.
But we didn't say it's just inspirational. We said that was one of the points of a speech. Can be one of the points of a speech is to be inspirational.
I know that, but I'm saying that is an inspirational speech, that is in the vein of inspiration. Okay. But I was saying you're limiting yourself by thinking just inspirational potentially, or picking an inspirational one because there are so many other speeches out there that are not necessarily inspirational.
I'll agree to that. I think though that usually speeches have one targeted, type of audience. So this one meant to be inspirational. There may be another one that's meant to be fearing. There's another one, so on and so forth. Usually there's one targeted thing. So no speech is going to hit everybody. My speech isn't going to scare you and make you fall in love with me, Drew. It's not going to do it. So they all do something.
Are you sure?
It might.
You.
No, I'm not sure. But
so my speech, what I think is the best speech, not only confirmed to the people in the room that this person was insane. No, you have no idea what it is.
I award you no points. God have mercy on your soul.
But it also let the audience know. It convinced the audience that this person wasn't just evil; they're insane, right? So this person says, "Very well. Where do I begin? My father was a relentlessly self-improving boulangerie owner from Belgium with a low-grade narcolepsy and a penchant for buggery. My mother was a 15-year-old French prostitute named Chloe with webbed feet. My father would womanize, he would drink, he would make outrageous claims like he invented the question mark. Sometimes he would accuse chestnuts of being lazy, so on and so forth. Dr. Evil standing up and letting his heart out in front of a group of people who he doesn't know, being vulnerable with these people and just trying to connect with his son, but also letting the entire audience know that he is absolutely insane. You were on the fence a little bit before that speech. He was funny. He was a little weird. No, guy's messed up. And this is what convinces not just the world in the movie sense, but the world in terms of the people who actually saw the movie. So that's the best speech.
While technically
left you guys
it-
speechless.
Why-
My job here is
because
done.
I have
Because
no.
I haven't
all
seen
right.
that movie in
All right.
15 years.
Great movie, great quote. While technically, yes, it's a speech of some kind, dude, you narrowed your audience by so much more. You're talking about a very small. It's a great quote. It's a great movie quote. I couldn't put it in this. I couldn't put it in the speech category of best speeches of all time. It's not. It provides nothing except a little extra humor in a movie that was already humorous.
It cements him as insane and not just evil. Like he's Dr. Evil, but he's insane and he's reaching out for help. That is a full character development arc if I've ever seen one, versus a president just rallying the troops. Every other movie has done that. Maybe not the president, but like we've all seen the normal battle cries. Let's go. Glory is there. Take it. It's yours. If we're going Achilles, because that was one of my favorite ones. It's everything. It's a culmination of an arc, and then his son betrays him again, and then he snaps and he becomes full evil. There's a chance that he could be saved and not be evil, and now he's full evil now.
I'm gonna give you points on originality and awesome quote. I don't think I can give you points on best speech.
Brittany, don't shame me like that. I can see you. We can see you. All right, Rick, what's your best quote? So then I can say my actual best quote.
So
Quote, speech. I meant speech.
I'm going to give my first one. I get to come back around. First of all, like any speech that's done by anyone but Al Pacino should be, because
You're
Al
right.
Pacino
Yeah.
is just, it's just wonderful. But I'm not much of a speech guy. I'm not a words guy.
Do it for me.
People that say like, good morning, I can't hear you, I said, how are you? Like those people should die in a fiery furnace. It's short, sweet, to the point. So Conan the Barbarian has given the greatest speech of all time. And that what is greatest in life: to crush your enemies, to drive them before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women. That is it.
I disagree, but my actual speech is in the same vein of short and sweet, because I agree. A lot of them are too verbose, and I think you could say something classy and inspirational, but that's just not our style. Pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever. Shane Falco in The Replacements, best like
Great.
nugget speech ever. It was exactly what his team needed. It wasn't the giant verbose, "Oh, aliens are coming for us, blah blah blah." You know, it wasn't leading an army into battle, but he knew his people so well and knew exactly what they needed to hear. He said it, he did it, they went on and they won, and it was perfect. And Gene Hackman was in that movie, so there you go.
Speaking of knowing what they need to hear, the real answer, while Ben, I appreciate Independence Day and what it's going for, it doesn't really tug at your heartstrings. Like it doesn't get you at an emotional level that you need to really go forth and fight. So where you're missing it is you have to connect them on a personal level.
Yeah,
Sons of Scotland.
there it is.
I am William Wallace. William Wallace is 7 feet tall. Yes, I've heard. Kills men by the hundreds. And if he were here, he would consume the British with fireballs from his eyes and bolts of lightning from his arse. And you know the rest. I'll keep going if you want me to. But-
Brittany wants you to keep going.
William Wallace. Oh, you want me to keep going? All right. I am Wallace. And I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. That's it. That's all I got. You have come to fight as free men. And free men you are. All right. Drew's rolling his eyes. Ben's clapping. Drew.
I have two things before we get to mine. Rick, I appreciate that one because I did that speech as a monologue
Yes.
for a middle school talent show.
Yes.
Where's the video?
Why?
It doesn't
Why
exist.
are we just now learning
I
this
don't know.
event occurred?
I had blue paint on my face. I had a wig. I had a kilt and everything. It was absolutely fantastic.
Amazing.
I'm slightly aroused.
Just
Two,
slightly.
I love that Brittany and Danny kind of use this as Wednesday night primetime television for them. And 3, all of you are wrong. The best speech was given in a time where a character in this movie had just given up hope and needed to hear from his best friend who had got him so far in this journey.
I swear to God.
Samwise Gamgee.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm all right with that.
To Frodo in the Two Towers. Frodo is about to basically give himself over to the Nazgul. Sam tackles him to the ground. They have this beautiful moment together where I'm not going to recite the entire speech. You can go rewatch the movie because it's absolutely fantastic. But basically talking about how we have to keep going because hope is not lost. In the end, it's only a passing shadow. The darkness has to pass. What we're fighting for is that there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. And even in that scene, gets to Smeagol a little bit. Gets Smeagol to reconsider the way he's thought about things. So you've got a character who has given up all hope of being able to get to the ring to Mordor. Sam has only ever believed in Frodo, and then Smeagol, who's gone behind their backs to thwart them at every turn, and has gotten to this evil character as well. But it's not, saying it to the troops, a billion people. It's just a one-on-one conversation between two people, two best friends who have traveled so far. And it eventually is what gets him almost all the way. What?
I was going to say my point's going to be different from Rick's, but I love that speech. Great speech. I thought Sam's speech to Frodo in the third movie, where he says, I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you, plus everything that came before it, was a much better, again, talking about character arc. Sam finally realizes in that moment in the third movie that Sam is actually the hero and not Frodo. And
I would debate that with you.
I don't know if that's
That's a different episode.
Ruin the rest of this podcast.
That's not even a speech. He's not even talking to anybody.
He's talking to the rest of the topics. This needs to be ironed out now.
That's the point.
The hero.
That is absolutely the point. He nuts up. He's like, I have to do this. This is my movie.
I love this.
This is my story.
You and I watched a different movie because Sam, as a character, never realizes
he's still humble
that he's
AF.
the one who should have brought the ring in the first place.
Of course you are, and I'm going with you. Like, what?
Yeah. He is 100%.
He is there to support Frodo.
No.
Yes, no, I 100% agree with you that Sam is the main character.
Yeah.
But to suggest that Sam realizes in that moment that he is the main character, lunacy.
No,
I will fight you to the death on a battlefield. Pistols at dawn, Travis.
He
Pistols
realizes
at dawn.
Bring back duels.
Bring it back.
If I had a glove right now, no, he does not. He realizes he has the strength to support his friend until the end and help him do what he was brought there to do. Travis, do not.
I love
he realizes in that moment, because he's talking to himself, right? He's talking about how we have this chance, we have the ability, but then he's like, you know what? I can't carry the ring. That's not my burden, but I can carry you and you're my burden, which makes the story about me. I'm the hero of this story because I'm carrying the person who's carrying the main burden. Therefore, by the transitive property,
not the way Sam thinks about it. That is not the way. You will never
actually read that. You'll never actually see that because Sam is too humble.
He will always
best worst argument ever.
He will always play in everyone's mind as the secondary character, but
that's not true either.
If you read the change of best speech goes to Travis.
if you read any of the commentary, everybody realizes that Sam is the actual main character,
Including
and Frodo
Sam
is
in
a
that
little,
moment.
a little bitch, except for Sam.
No, he does. He realizes it.
No, he does not.
Because
you
after
need to
that
rewatch
moment,
the movie and then reread the books.
after that moment, he gets the confidence to go talk to what's her face.
That's
Right?
right. That's right.
He gave himself that confidence by understanding that this is his story, this is his destiny. He controls it, and he is.
I'm
the
not gonna fight this
hero.
with you.
Travis
I will not.
chose violence tonight. And
Rudy.
Also,
No, fuck off.
Rudy
Rudy can go to hell. He was offsides. All right.
and fuck Notre Dame.
He was definitely offside.
But regardless of our disagreement about the entire plot of the movie, I thought that speech was better than the one in the Two Towers.
It wasn't. It was great, but it wasn't as impactful as that one was.
Yeah,
Because
'cause-
Sam was going to carry him no matter what, if he'd given that speech or not. This one was convincing Frodo that he still had the ability to fight on, and that there was a reason to fight on. Otherwise, he would have just totally given himself over to the mouthful.
I'm going to bring up semantics here, just as a small aside, not to completely derail this.
More so.
But after hearing the points on this, like, can we agree that the Lord of the Rings was more like heart-to-heart, one-on-one connections than almost any other movie ever? Because every quote speech we were referring to weren't speeches. Drew even said it. They were conversations between two people.
Except mine. Oh, you're
Why
talking
can't-
about in
No,
just
I'm,
in
I'm
you're
talking about
just in
Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
Drew
I got it.
and Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Right, yeah.
Yes.
If you want to
And now,
argue,
if you want to call it a monologue, okay, fine. Like, but to
if you want to argue speeches, then yeah, I consider a speech equal to a monologue. Like it is.
that's fair.
One person taking a block of text and saying it out to any number of people.
Yeah, that's fair. And
Just
I'm not
some
trying.
kind
I'm
of
not trying to.
audience, yeah.
I'm not trying to take us down that rabbit hole of like speech, not speech. I mean, even though I kind of am, but I'm not. Like that's. I'm not trying to destroy arguments.
Get off.
Just if you think
aside.
about each,
Is it a speech or not?
movie, and if you think about like the best monologues, speeches, if you want to take it that way, like they're all person to person in that. Like there's not like a grand venue, like they may take our lives, but should never take our freedoms. See, I brought it back. Kind of moment. It's just like it's in the quiet corners, bearing souls to each other. That's beautiful.
So you're looking for a speech like that? Is that what you're saying, Rick?
No, I'm saying a speech has to be to a group of people, not necessarily a platform. Ben, I don't love yours. Like, is it a good speech? Sure. But every Coach Boone speech is better than Independence Day. And also every Al Pacino speech. So, because you said good football quotes, I'm still a little bitter.
I
about
retracted.
that. You did? I'm still bitter. It happened.
One of those things we're gonna have to talk about tomorrow.
That's right. That's right.
Let me try to recap this for our audience. We've got Independence Day. We've got Shane Falco in The Replacements. We've got Samwise in.
I'm so mad that that's even mentioned.
The Shane Falco one.
Yes.
It's so good. It's the
I
perfect
agree.
speech.
It's Keanu.
It's
but I'm
the
so
perfect
mad.
speech. We've got Samwise in The Two Towers, not the third one. And Rick, was yours?
No,
was-
line me up for Braveheart.
Okay, I was like, I didn't know which one it was. So, all right, I don't think anyone's leaving their camp.
Yeah, it's more of a show and tell at this point.
Dan, well, hold on, Danny, are you there? Danny, Brittany, Danny.
Yes.
Of these speeches, which one's the best?
Got the nerds on my side.
The
The Doctor Evil one make it?
The intro.
It
oh,
can.
No.
mute him now.
Mute him now. Let's hear from Brittany.
We've got the Independence Day speech. We've got Shane Falco in the huddle on the last play of The Replacements. We've got Samwise Gamgee to Frodo in The Two Towers, and we've got the classic Braveheart speech. Best speech of those four.
And what are the parameters of a speech?
There are not.
Talking.
Follow your heart.
Yeah.
That's
A whole new world.
And that's why How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
One person talking to any number of other people.
I will go with. I have seen all of those, and I'll go with the one that emotionally impacted me and resonated the most.
Can't wait to hear this.
A,
Chick Stick Scars.
as just like a beautiful speech.
Glory lasts
And
forever.
that is Samwise Gamgee. With
Okay.
Two Towers.
Okay.
It was a beautiful moment.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Brittany. Thank you. Brittany, please
Thank you, Brittany.
chime in here. Correct your husband.
Braveheart.
Yes.
Okay. So now we got two. Ben and I, ours are out. Ben, you pick one.
I mean, going by my standard of speeches and the traditional big impact, I love you, Drew, but Rick's hits the spot. I mean, it really does. It is the speech
right.
style that
I
I
knew
was
when those two
originally
came up.
going for. So
I hate that speech. So I'm Two Towers. So we're at a crossroads again, which is fine.
Wait,
we'll just say
you hate that speech? Like, it's okay to not vote for it, but to hate it?
I just I'm
What's
maybe
wrong?
because
I don't love Braveheart as a movie. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna put it
Fine.
out there.
Oh,
Fine.
and I
I mean,
think
I don't
hate's
love
love
it
it
as
as
a
a
movie.
movie.
Say
It
you
doesn't
hate
hold
that
water.
that
speech.
speech?
hate's a strong word. I am over the speech. I feel like it's just used too often.
That's
me.
fine.
Yeah, I retract my hate.
All right.
That
thank
was
you.
a strong word.
Okay.
Yes.
Say you hate it.
We're gonna have a
Fucking-
lot to talk about.
What
now.
fucking
uncle touched
awful.
you while you were watching Brave?
All right, so we'll just say they're tied. The
Yeah,
Braveheart
don't worry.
speech and Frodo to Sam in the Two Towers.
Sam,
that works.
further.
But those are all very male dominated speeches. I'm just going to throw out.
You're not wrong.
Next
United-
time,
United Postal
Dude.
Service.
female speech. Because I'd be curious
Are
what,
women allowed to talk?
what a male would think is a good speech from a female.
When I hear one, I'll let you know.
Didn't we talk about Legally Blonde a couple of weeks ago? I'm just kidding.
Hey, Brittany's gone.
I love you, Brittany.
Stop.
Brittany, were you spoken to?
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Ben, give us your backups.
Okay. I have a few, but I'm only gonna name one. Let me get in character. I don't know who you are.
Yeah,
I don't know what you want.
on the list.
If you are looking for ransom,
Mhm.
I can tell you I don't have money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Now, this whole speech by Liam Neeson set
Not a speech.
a tone. It was a speech to a room of people.
It was.
It
A
was.
speech to one
I'll
person.
give that.
No, it was on speakerphone.
He was on
Speech to a room of
speakerphone,
people.
not the person he was talking to.
No.
That
yeah.
doesn't make it a convert. Carry on with your backup.
Audience doesn't have to be more than one person. Just an audience. It chilled you. It sent chills if you were watching the movie. It just made you happy, even though he was suffering through this terrible thing. As somebody listening to this speech, you were invigorated. That was my backup.
I'm okay with calling it a speech. I'm glad it wasn't the winner.
No, it
But-
didn't. Well, it didn't belong on the top, but it belonged
Right.
on the list.
The one that the first one that came to my head was Myrmidon's Brothers of the Sword. I'd rather fight beside you than an army of thousands. Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions. Do you know what's waiting beyond that beach? Immortality, take it, it's yours. Like Brad Pitt as Achilles. That was the first one. I'm not saying it's the best. Again, this is just backups or
You do
other
so
one.
much better.
I feel like since none of us can agree that maybe none of us have hit the best, it's still out there. Maybe we bring this back up in a month.
maybe.
Yeah,
But
just it's such a hard because like there's even like speeches that like don't come to mind, and like when you hear them, you're like, "Fuck, why did I not?"
Well, in the context of the movie, too, like it may not be the best movie.
right.
Like Two Towers, for example, not the best of
Best
the trilogy.
ever. Oh,
Like Al Pacino's "Scent of a Woman" speech at the end. Oh my god, love it. But he's not a snitch. Great scene. Go watch it.
I believe you.
I
And
think
also-
that's the real question: is the context of said speech, because there's almost like moments where like the application of said speech speaks to you differently. It's just it
Go on.
depends.
Nope,
It's like
tell me.
it's like driving home from work. You know, it's like, what mood are you in? Like, am I in this kind of mood? Am I in this kind of mood? Do I
Mhm.
deserve music? today. You know,
That's fair.
like some days you drive home and you don't deserve the music.
My backup was Inglorious Bastards, the opening
Yeah.
Okay.
to that. Just the reason I like it is because it kind of set the tone for the movie you were watching. Of like, oh, we just want to hate this.
Italian.
We just want to hate this Nazi motherfucker, and they do a really good job of making you hate him in the first 3 minutes of that movie.
Hold on, I'm
Yes.
looking at fuck, what's his name?
I like it.
Because I have a point. Okay, so the only other one I had was also from Sean Astin. So he was referenced at least twice already as Sam and one through Rudy. Didn't make it as Rudy, but Sam was when he gives the speech to the Goonies. Because Goonies never say die.
Goonies never say die.
They never say die. Just when I was looking up all of these speeches, I was like, man, this guy's like he's got 3 up there that are just like always going to be up there, and kudos to that guy. How do I get to chocolate? How do I get from speeches to chocolate?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory had one of the greatest speeches of all
Nope.
time.
No, it didn't. But it did have a giant chocolate fountain.
That's how you get there. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it had a great speech.
Oh,
But there was a kid who fell into a chocolate river.
probably Sean Astin.
Stupid. Have I got a little speech for you? I don't know.
I like it. I'm here for it.
Britney Smile counts.
Shit, I broke another string. Don't worry, call Ray over at Rocket Guitar Repair. Rocket Guitar Repair? Rocket Guitar Repair. With over 50 years playing, building, and repairing guitars, Rocket Guitar Repair can get your guitar repaired rocket quick. Call Rocket Guitar Repair at 678-400-3062 or visit rocketguitarrepair.com.
You guys know me.
Nope.
Nope. Guys, I got a sweet tooth. I'm
Really?
really craving some chocolate. And got me thinking, what's the best thing to dip into chocolate? I think Brittany's excited for this.
I'm gonna go first because
Okay.
I feel like I was gonna go a funny route on this one, and then I thought about things I've had that were dipped in chocolate recently that kind of blew my mind. The humble potato chip,
Is a good answer.
the salty with the crunchy and a little bit of sweet in there. It fulfilled a need that I didn't know I had, and that's why I posit the potato chip.
Drew, I'm gonna play off of that because I think you hit the crunch and the salt. I think that's necessary for something that gets dipped in chocolate. But I took something that literally makes everything better, and that's bacon. Dip bacon in chocolate. Name something that bacon doesn't make better, I dare you, and I'll tell you you're wrong. Dip it in chocolate. Salty, got that crunch if it's crunchy bacon. Got some girth to it sometimes if you get nice thick bacon.
If you would have said peanut butter, I would have agreed with you. Look, I like Drew's answer. Ben's answer disappoints me as much as as much as I love bacon. Like you have to think about what is the universal dipping item when it comes to these things. And when it comes, and I'm assuming
My dick.
well, I mean, I'm assuming we're talking
We all
about-
wanted to go there. but I
about
didn't go there.
liquid chocolate in this, like a kind of like a batter sense. We're not talking about like chocolate covered strawberries where like we dip it, freeze it, or put
I
in
mean,
fruit.
you could fondue the strawberry.
yeah, you could,
Okay.
but fondue is kind right, like it's a liquid kind of thing.
Yes, it should be liquid.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And the only answer, it's your finger. You're gonna stick your finger in there. and you're gonna lick the chocolate, or you're gonna lick whatever it is. So the item is because you haven't walked by chocolate where you don't have anything else, and you're like, I just want this chocolate. Let me get my finger in there. You do the same thing with cake batter. I defy you to say if you are like, I'm not gonna, no, I don't have bacon, so I'm not taking this delicious chocolate mix, or I don't have a potato chip, I'm not dipping, because you're dipping.
Rick, I think you're close, and it's not my dick.
I mean, it could be. I don't
Could
have your
be.
dick readily available at all times, but
That's fair.
Not with that attitude.
But something, let's take your scenario, right?
Bazinga.
You're walking past a chocolate fountain. You're walking past a fondue. You don't have anything to dip into it. A finger is a utility option for sure. But how do you improve on chocolate? You can't. So the best thing to dip in chocolate is just more chocolate. Just take a full size.
I hate you so much.
I
chocolate
don't
bar,
like it.
dip
Took
it
the
in,
creativity
and
out of
take
it.
a snap out of that. Now you've got the room temperature chocolate, like the cold chocolate with a bite to it, and then you're adding the delicious warmed velvety chocolate to the already fantastic chocolate. Like,
How many times
you're
have
just
you done
getting
this, Travis?
chocolate on chocolate. Like,
When have you
at-
actually physically in real life
at least
dipped chocolate into more chocolate?
at least monthly.
That was more than I was prepared for you to say.
I don't
Monthly?
believe you
Like,
for some reason.
12 times a year? That's a lot.
At least monthly, on average monthly.
Danny, Brittany, start thinking of something. We're gonna need some better answers.
Nope.
Than that.
No,
First of all, no. I'm a little surprised no one said popcorn.
I
that's
do
not,
like chocolate covered.
that's not the answer.
I never
Okay.
said it. I didn't say it was. I said I was
Okay.
For
it was
wait, for argument's sake,
Uh-oh.
I like bacon and I like finger.
Yeah, you do.
Rick, the only reason I
love
don't go finger is because in what scenario in my life, I'm just thinking me personally, am I around liquid chocolate and it's just an accident? Like, when do I walk? How many
Never
times in my
an
life have I
accident. It's
walked
on
by
purpose.
a chocolate fountain? How many times have I had fondue? It's always been a choice. I'm either at like a
Right.
wedding reception or we go to a fondue place.
All right, I see what you're saying.
Bro,
So
just
they-
get yourself a double boiler.
So
It's
there
not hard.
are options that
You're
are
right.
not my finger. That's the only reason I have trouble. I have trouble with
All right,
the finger.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
The bacon I like, and I've had really good chocolate covered bacon, but it can be done so wrong
Yep.
too. You can have that like just gristly
Yep.
roast bacon. If anybody dips turkey bacon into chocolate, I'm just gonna take them out of this world. They don't deserve it.
They've
anymore.
ruined the chocolate.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you could
Should
ruin
not
chocolate.
exist on this planet.
I would like
So
to.
that
Can I? If we won't go for chocolate as the best thing to dip in chocolate,
We
because
will,
I think
we will not.
I think
We will
Brittany would
not.
agree with me that chocolate's the best thing. So
No.
you
Can
just
we, can we
more
hear Brittany-
chocolate.
Can we hear Brittany's answer? I want to hear Brittany's answer.
I would like to know what type of chocolate. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, ruby chocolate.
Yes.
Options.
Yes.
milk chocolate as a base.
As a liquid, it's in liquid form.
With like a
In this-
white chocolate
In this
swirl.
scenario, no.
No.
We go.
Or-
we got to set. We got to set parameters.
More often than not, yes.
So not magic shell that we like put over.
No, not
No. Just in general, liquid chocolate, milk chocolate. I'm gonna get. Okay, I'll give two backups.
Wait,
while she's
wait.
thinking.
Wait. 'cause
While she's thinking.
no. I want to formally change mine to just cookies.
Also,
Just-
bad.
All cookies dipped
No.
in chocolate.
I don't love that either. Cookies
I
can be.
If it's
Now just
shortbread,
Take
maybe.
your bad takes within.
Have you put Oreos in chocolate? Have you dipped chocolate
Yes.
chip cookies in chocolate? Have you
Yes.
put any of the other peanut butter cookies in chocolate?
First of all, you're starting off wrong. You need to take the
Hey,
Oreo,
Travis,
the deep
Will
Will
fry,
you make me
then dip
make
it.
me host really quick?
Go to Delana.
No, because you can't. I don't want you to mute me. I know what you're trying to do.
So that I'm gonna say any type of
Chocolate. Got it.
nut, like macadamia nut,
No,
almond.
Peanut,
I already
Some
talked
covered
about.
peanuts.
Drew sack and chocolate.
I already talked
Yeah.
about my penis. So
Nuts.
Also, raisins. I really like.
no, out. You're muted. Hold
Mute her.
on.
I'm down for that.
Mute her now.
No, because she's being.
All right. I'm
Nuts
going
with-
for my two. I'm
What are
going for
your
my two backups.
backups?
Peanut butter filled pretzels, because you've still got the saltiness, you got the crunch, and you've got peanut butter and chocolate together.
Did you say
Yes.
peanut butter filled pretzels?
Yes.
Yeah, like the little.
I was
little
today
one.
years old when I learned of those.
No.
Oh my god,
Bro.
Rick. I'm
Well, so
sending
hold on.
you.
Wait,
Send me your
Drew,
address. I will
Drew,
have them
don't.
delivered by the morning.
What?
Don't
the
do it because
hell?
Rick doesn't like the crunchy pretzels. He doesn't like the
Oh,
hard
well
pretzels.
then. Oh, well.
I'm also not a chocolate person, so
Well, then your
No,
opinion.
they just have the original ones just have peanut butter in them.
Yeah, just
They're
peanut
little
butter.
tiny pretzel bites.
They have a
that
name. They
peanut
even
butter
have like a
filling.
specific name. I don't remember what they're
Yeah, but I'm
called.
saying Rick doesn't like crunchy pretzels.
it's true. I don't.
And
They don't
then
like that.
pineapple if we're going fruit.
Strawberry.
Unsubscribe.
You said
Strawberry.
pineapple?
Yeah, if I'm at a fondue place, I like pineapple dipped in chocolate.
Interesting.
Out of all of the fruits.
Give me
Yeah,
marshmallows.
that's fair.
before
Pineapple dipped in chocolate's pretty freaking good.
Yeah. Why did no one say
Strawberries too.
marshmallows?
Marshmallows, man.
I'm not a huge fan of marshmallow.
Get out.
First you take
It has
them.
its time and place, but just not a huge. I don't seek it out.
See, chocolate frosting is.
Actually,
She's
can I
just talking.
can I change?
Wait,
the
this
answer
isn't
to
on mute?
Keep it, no, Danny, keep it open.
Brittany inspired me because the real answer
Is
is
cake.
French fries into a Wendy's.
Into a Wendy's chocolate
Mm.
frosty.
That is the
I-
real
Mm.
answer.
Honestly, if everybody else will give it up, I will.
That's
I
the
will
real
sec-
anser.
I will second that camp. It
It's
is
a
liquid chocolate.
technicality, but I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I will
It's
give up.
true chocolate, but
you got the
I
crunch, you got the salt, you got the backbone to hold the frosty up.
it's the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
here
in.
for it.
I'm mad because it's too good of an answer. I'm okay with it. I'll allow it.
And speaking of board games,
You have to let me attempt.
my fault. My fault.
I
It's my-
don't.
it's
You have
my
to let
fault.
We
me
don't.
And
try.
speaking of risk,
Sticking your finger in and getting chocolate on it, that's risky.
Like an episode of Candyland.
Very reminiscent
Hey,
of.
nice.
There we go. There we go. I did it.
Ticket to ride.
Nope.
No,
Guys, I unfortunately had the pleasure of watching Battleship, and I thought, what would be what board game would make the best movie? And I'd like to hop out there because I think I actually have a legitimate answer for this one. I know I've been a little like all over the place today, but imagine there's a serial killer that likes to mess with the local police department's bomb squad, right? And the only way they can disarm this bomb is by guessing the code, right? And as they guess, they get progressively closer to an answer, and eventually they disarm the bomb. But what they don't realize is that the serial killer is learning from their guesses and trying to come up with the perfect combination, the perfect sequence of colors for the bomb squad to deactivate. And I think Mastermind could
Great.
actually be the best movie board game. Like, you have the ultimate
Great.
antagonist. You could have a bomb squad protagonist. It's just like this guy who's like maybe downtrodden and out of his luck, but he's actually really smart, but just no one ever gave him a chance because he like came from a broken home, failed out of school for XYZ. But like the ways you could actually make this into a full movie, I'm thinking kind of like Seven vibes a little bit.
You're taking some creative liberties, but I'm here for it. And
You have to.
No, yeah, I like it. I like it.
because I wanted to go some of the more obvious ones, but I thought they would end up like Battleship or Clue or Rampage. I know that's not a board game, but it's a video game, and it would just be like the game plus some like minor tweaks here and there, and it'd just be bad. So I took some leaps of faith there to make a non-obvious answer really cool. So I'm gonna go Mastermind.
I'd watch that movie, and because I was rocking in a corner today because I had, as you said, like some obvious answers. I was like, oh my god, Risk, can you imagine? But it's like, all right, what, that's like, insert war movie here,
right?
Like it's been done. And so I was thinking about things like that, and for a little bit I thought Monopoly might be something I could watch, but even still,
it's called The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like if you take any of these movies, and then I was thinking like maybe Settlers of Catan, but I was like, all right, 10,000 BC, is essentially the same thing. So I like Mastermind a lot. I want to hear everybody else's answer.
Okay, I'll go. This comes to mind through a couple of different media. It's had some iterations, but never had its own thing. Candyland. I want to see HBO presents Candyland. Sort of Game of Thrones-esque style, brutal as fuck, and they're trying to get through the chocolate swamp, and they're trying to make their way through the or the candy cane forest, making all these decisions and having to, go through the I can't even remember her name, the Gumdrop Fairy or whatever it is. But it's like a conglomeration of Wizard of Oz, magical everything, but no holds bar, everyone dies in the end, adventure to try and get their way to the castle in Candyland.
I like the idea of a dark Candyland. Like if you told me it was going to be dark and like really kind of fucked up, I'd be all for that. I toyed with that idea. I toyed with the Monopoly idea, like Rick mentioned, but Candyland was definitely one of the first things I thought of before I came to the Mastermind conclusion.
Man, these are good answers. I'm digging them. I had a few, but I think I settled on one. And I went a little different on this one. Instead of just taking a game and turning the entire plot into one movie, I took the game and the movie kind of being like the game was an example in the movie for a lot of different things. So whether it is two nations deciding on a treaty or two guys haggling over a blanket in a bazaar, everyone has to bust out their miniature version of Jenga to see who wins the argument. I don't care if you're fighting for a nation or you're buying something for $5. Jenga is the deciding factor in everything in the entire world. That's it. And it's a quick, easy game. You set it up. Somebody has to fail. Somebody has to knock it down. And that was kind of my thought process on this.
I kind of like that, Ben.
It was just it's a different way of thinking.
Is
I knew
it
it wasn't
drunk
like
Jenga?
Well, it depends. If you're getting in a bar fight,
will you
somebody
walk me
says,
through
"Hey,
that,
decide who
that
wins."
screenplay?
Pull
How
out
does Jenga
Jenga.
work in a movie?
Yeah. It's basically whatever the plot is for the movie, whether it's a war movie or it could be multiple movies. It could be a series. It could be a lot of movies.
Please,
take the plot and then the decisions are all based on a game of Jenga.
So it's like Saw, but Jenga. Is that what you're saying?
No,
I think
I picture it more like
it's
Rick. Imagine a world where instead of
like Idiocracy,
discourse or having conversation, we settle every single debate was settled by rock paper scissors.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Except
instead, it's kind of like a Black Mirror episode where like we've come to a point in the world where every single big decision, I guess, big-ish decision is decided by, we got to whip out the Jenga, and whatever,
so it's like
whoever wins, that's correct.
Mediation doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Mastermind if that's the alternative.
Oh, I'm all in on the Mastermind. That was a brilliant suggestion, absolutely. But Jenga was my pick. But I will admit I have been defeated. Mastermind was awesome.
I'll give it up. I love the Candyland thing, but I never even thought of Mastermind.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't even
great.
remember it was a game until you started describing
It's
it. I was
beautiful.
like, holy fuck, what was that game
So
called back in the day?
I will throw one out there that I thought it's a similar idea, and I'm willing to concede to Mastermind. But if anybody's ever played Scotland Yard,
Oh yeah.
but also you could also say that, like, you know, insert 007 James Bond movie here kind of thing. So in terms of originality, I think Mastermind is a fantastic pick.
Can Simon be the sequel? Having to memorize
Ooh.
colors and
Nice.
Ooh.
I like
Simon
it.
could be the name of the mastermind. And
Yes.
that could be the sequel.
Nice.
Absolutely. I love that. And while not technically a traditional board game, I would be willing to put Simon as based on what we defined it for the board game draft, it's a board game. So
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
it's the sequel. Sequels are always a
Yeah.
little fucked up.
I'm on
Oh,
board.
yeah.
Like you
All right.
crack Mastermind and then you learn it's Simon, and then you have a new
Nice.
style series of I want to play a game.
All right, I had a
love that.
few backups I wanted to mention.
Go on.
And I don't know what the plots would be for some of them, except for the last one I'll mention. The other two were Connect 4, the movie. No idea what the plot would be.
Yeah, I tried.
But-
Yeah.
I really tried to make something out of Connect 4, and I could not. Operation,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like that would be a little too Saw-esque.
Yeah.
I feel
like
like it would
already
be
been-
more like I thought about Operation 2. I thought it was more Dr. Frankenstein, like
Okay,
putting
I
someone
can see that.
together. I don't know, just like or
Like
or,
Parts and
Yeah,
or the $1 Million Man,
yeah.
that type of thing. And the last one was a Speed-esque movie, but with a Skip It.
Ooh,
I know it's not a board game. I know it's just like a children's toy. But since we kind of went
I
Simon,
like that's.
I
that's
almost had thought about-
hilarious.
I almost had thought about Bop It
Oh my
too. Like if you fail Bop It, you get killed or something like that. But Skip It, where you have to keep skipping it, otherwise you explode.
Yeah,
Like kind of like what was that movie? Cell Phone
Or Speed.
or
Phone
Speed?
it was the phone booth where you leave the
Phone.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
So I had a bunch of
those
backups.
Cellular, yeah.
So Game of Life, I was like, how does it? I'm like, that's already the Truman Show. It's been done. I think Mousetrap could have been really fun.
I had that.
Yeah, I couldn't think of like a real narrative around it.
Oh, I thought of one.
Go for it. What's your
So,
narrative?
did you ever see
around
like
Ocean's
a movie?
11.
Like no, like a movie like Speed Racer, or like there's different tracks, so you have different versions of the Mousetrap, and like different people have to race around it, and it's like a global thing.
Okay.
You know, kind of like Ninja Warrior meets Speed Racer, where there's different versions of it, and people have to.
I'm
I could
thinking more like a
argue-
Ready Player One almost, when they're going through the track. And
I
going
was going to argue
backwards.
like it's a Mad World
Yeah,
esque type of thing, like treasure. You're trying to find a treasure.
that could be it too. And then the one that I almost picked, if I didn't do Mastermind, was going to be 13 Dead End Drive, because
There you
that
go.
is
Mm.
one of the best. I can't think of a murder
Not
mysteries type of film where everyone has motive, basically.
Knives Out.
Or
But that's
Glass
only
Onion.
one person, right?
No. Not like both
I mean,
of them.
everyone
Like every one of them is a possible.
had.
Yeah.
You're
had
right.
to.
You're right. You're
motive
right.
for it.
Okay, I hadn't considered that, but that makes sense. Okay, yeah. So I'm glad I didn't.
I
go
mean,
for
it still would be a good flick, because I was thinking Guess Who, but to me it was like the same kind of idea. Mousetrap would be a little bit better because like there's, you know, like 13 Dead End Drive has a little bit more pizzazz than Guess Who.
Okay. So Mastermind it is. That's
I like Mastermind.
let's call Paramount and make it happen. But before that happens, we need to have last call. We're gonna go Rick, Drew, Ben, because that's the order I have you guys on my screen. These are just your basic would you rathers. Everyone ready? Don't care. Rick, would you rather live in Antarctica or the Sahara Desert?
The Sahara Desert.
Drew,
Antarctica.
Ben,
Sahara.
Sahara Desert. Rick, would you rather explore space or the deep ocean?
Oh, that's a tough one. Space.
Drew,
Space.
Ben.
Ocean.
Rick, would you rather go similar kind of vein but slightly different? Rick, would you rather go deep sea diving or bungee jumping?
These last two, I hate both of them.
Yeah.
Bungee jumping, I guess.
Deep sea diving.
Ben.
Deep sea diving.
Okay. Rick, would you rather be stuck upside down on a roller coaster or be stranded on a boat in the middle of the ocean?
Stranded on a boat.
Drew.
Stranded on a boat.
Ben.
I'm on a boat.
Rick, would you rather have nosy neighbors or noisy neighbors?
Nosy.
I don't know how to abbreviate this, but okay. I can't
Can't
just
say
put N.
N.
Can't just put N. Drew, noisy or nosy?
Nosy. They get what they deserve.
Ben.
Noisy, because I can call the cops on.
Okay, fair enough. Rick, you're in the middle of a fight. Would you rather have Predator or the Terminator at your side?
Predator.
Drew.
Predator, absolutely.
Ben.
Not even a contest. It's Predator.
Rick, would you rather be able to break dance or play the
Yes.
piano flawlessly? However, you can only do either if you're blackout drunk.
Then play the piano. I would rather play the piano flawlessly.
Drew.
Piano.
Ben.
Yeah. Easy.
Rick, if you could only communicate through animal noises, would you rather bark like a dog or meow like a cat?
Meow like a cat.
Drew.
Meow.
Ben.
Meow meow.
Okay, no dog lovers, that's fine. If you had to pick, would you rather, Rick, have a smartphone that autocorrects every third word to something absurd, or a phone that only has 30 minutes of battery life?
Give me the every third word being absurd.
Drew?
Yeah, just for the absurdity, every third word.
You could go back and fix it. It's just it autocorrects and you're like,
Yeah, yeah,
shit, I gotta go fix
Could
it.
be fun.
Yeah,
Could be
fair
fun.
enough.
I might send it. Who knows?
What's life without whimsy? I'll go with third word.
Last one, Rick. When you're doing chores, would you rather have your vacuum cleaner make loud animal noises or your dishwasher sing off-key show tunes?
Give me the off-key show tunes.
Drew.
Absolutely off-key show tune.
Ben.
Dude, it's show tunes. That's great.
Yes.
I'm gonna go program my dishwasher right now.
All right, so you guys were very similar on like all of them. I thought these were a little bit more, I don't want to say equal, but maybe you guys just have similar personalities for these exact topics. Drew, you were the only one to
most surprising.
right. Drew, you picked Antarctica, which we know you're cold-blooded.
Mhm.
So in this sense, you like the cold, so that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Ben, you chose the ocean over space.
Yep, still on Earth. Plus,
Okay.
Lauren calls
Yeah.
me an otter. I love to swim. I'd live in the water half my life if I could.
Fair. That's yeah, okay. And then Rick, you chose bungee jumping over deep sea diving.
I did.
Okay. You just
Roll the dice.
Not-
Both equally terrifying to me. Both encapsulate my worst fear. And yeah, I just feel like falling is worse than drowning, or better than drowning. So I went bungee jumping.
as someone who's gone bungee jumping and I've gone scuba
It's something
diving.
might touch my leg when I deep sea dive.
You mentioned that.
I feel like you gotta. I don't know. If you're deep sea diving, Rick, you got a better chance of seeing everything around you.
No, because it's dark, and then you run out of
Deep sea
sunlight.
diving.
Deep sea.
I didn't
Yeah.
say like
That means
coral
Jaws
reef
with a
diving.
bag.
You still got lights,
Yeah.
not much.
Not much. No.
and it's not like there's seaweed that close to. As long as you're
You
not
don't
in a
know.
seaweed
There could
forest,
be.
The
you
the
get
knife.
to choose, Rick. You get to choose.
That makes it worse because we know there's not a lot of seaweed that deep, which means
That
it's
if
something else.
touched me. Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
the knife strapped to my leg might kill the sea creature and could do shit to the rock that hits my head. So
Yeah, I will. Out of all of the ridiculous things I've done in my life, I will never go bungee jumping.
Never.
I don't trust it, and it just does. There's
I have to
nothing
show you
about that
guys-
appeals to me.
I have a video of me bungee jumping, and it's fantastic. But the reason why I would go bungee jumping, because one, I've already done it, and two, for scuba diving, I have this really terrible habit of, I guess, like either not putting my mask on correctly or like smiling in a point where it lifts the mask just enough to get like a little bit of water in the mask, and that freaked me the fuck out.
But that's like a cheap ass snorkel. If you're going deep sea diving, they've got really specific equipment for that.
I
Full-on-
understood, but like
Maybe.
the
Maybe.
deep sea dive
And
is
you can
always-
significantly
you can always
longer
just
than
not.
the bungee jump. Like bungee jump is quick. Like
But why?
Right. Yes.
What's-
if
why
I
do you
die,
go
I
bungee
fall,
jumping?
crack my head.
it's so
versus
much
suffocate.
fun. It's
No.
so much fun.
I would rather go
You
jump out of
find
an
it-
airplane
you find it
any
thrilling?
anytime.
exhilarating. It was
Yeah,
one of
sorry.
the most fun things I've ever done in my entire life.
You know, it's exhilarating. A strong 401k. Fucking bungee jumping. No,
That is not
fucking thank
exhilarating.
you. I will.
It's
You could
safe.
not pay me. Like 6 figures would not get me to bungee jump because if I'm
I'll
dead, I
go
can't
do it
spend
again tomorrow.
Well, 6 figures would get me to bungee jump. I have no ass.
Can't do it. Maybe
no,
7.
No ifs, ands, or buts about that. But I would go.
Deep sea diving.
Yeah, in an actual second.
Yeah. That I would pay to go deep sea diving.
That scares me a little bit more, just because I don't know why. It just scares me a little bit more. The last one, and we don't have to get into it right now, but Predator or Terminator.
There's nothing to get into. Travis.
There's nothing to get into, Travis.
into.
We
Can
all
you-
agreed.
Can you come up with a better one than Terminator that could actually
No, I
rival Predator?
agree, but explain to me why Terminator and the Predator is a close conversation. If you would have said like Agent Smith, even then, and that's not even the best example, but like
Take everything out of it. At the end of the day, we're talking a man-made construct that yes has gained sentience and has probably improved itself
Mhm.
against an alien entity that hunts things for sports across the galaxy.
Which was also taken
No
out.
contest.
tell them how it is.
Both were taken out by humans, right?
One of them,
No.
not the entire species.
Right. It's same thing for Terminator. The entire quote species of AI sentient robots one of them was taken out by a human, not the entire species of AI sentient robots. Like, if we're bringing the entire
Yeah, but I can just unplug AI sentient robots.
no, that's not a thing.
Will
That's not how that
Smith
works.
beat
Yeah,
AI
they get
sentient
that- they get
robots.
that-
Like
that
all right.
three-
They got the-
Yeah, and what's his name beat a Predator, like
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like a really cool dude. Yeah, like
who
he-
played Terminator.
who also gave
So
one of the
by
best speeches
by
in the world.
the transitive property, the Terminator beat the Predator.
How many transitive properties do you have?
No,
At least 2.
because no, did you watch Terminator?
Yeah, the Terminator, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, beat.
Well,
The Predator.
Terminator is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Terminator is somebody else. We need to be very clear.
Wait, what? The Terminator is Arnold Schwarzenegger,
But he didn't beat the Predator.
right? But he played the guy that beat
Yeah,
the
that's
Predator by the
That's
transitive
outside
property.
of the realm.
But by
Outside of
the
the realms of the
Inception
documentaries.
principle, Leonardo DiCaprio is the most feared species in the universe.
The women under 25.
I mean, well, that was like a side
Oh,
conversation.
The
I mean,
side
you know,
project.
That's also true, but
anyway, we're just talking out our ass at this point, guys. This has been another episode
Wizard versus wizard.
of the Bar Banter podcast. Thank you for listening. Follow us on all of the socials and the different places you get your podcasts, like Spotify or Apple or Google or not Stitcher because they don't exist anymore, or Good Pods or the other one I can't
X.
think of.
X.
X, right? Follow us on the X. Is that a thing? Please don't be an X.
it's still
Anyway.
a bird on my phone, so it's still
Not for long.
We'll
Let's
see.
still Twitter for now.
Facebook
We'll
Facebook
see.
has the
The patent. I saw
copyright
that.
to it.
Meta does, yeah. Follow us, tweet us, tell us what you want to hear, or don't, because we don't care, because this is our podcast and you're just along for
the ride.
damn it, Rick, the ride.
I thought you would send it sooner. I don't know what you want from me.